on, Transcendent Family? Welcome to Skinny to Pro, episode 15. Your boy is fired up. Listen, I almost didn't make it to Bible study this morning. I went past 2 car accidents, had a car accident right in front of me as soon as I hopped on the highway. And man, God was really just showing me today in today's reading that you have to have daily effort of seeking him, of wanting to grab his garment, like the woman that was suffering from 12 years of bleeding. You have to apply that same effort of wanting to get to him and grab his cloak daily, not just one time, but daily. And he just fired me back up with that, reminded me of that. Like, do not grow weary in well-doing, brothers and sisters in Christ. Your breakthrough is on the way, and even beyond your breakthrough being on the way, your healing, your connection, your intimacy with God is not only on the way, it's present every single day, so long as you put in the effort. So I just wanted to leave you all with that word real quick, not trying to preach to y'all or anything like that. But I'm actually on the way to DEXA Fit Atlanta right now to get my body fat percentage. So when I did it initially, when I was saying, okay, let me see where I finished off with this bulk, I bought a 2-pack so I could get that discount. Now it's time to follow up and see where we ended up at the end of this cut before summer shredding. So let's get it. All right, you all. So I just got to DEXA Fit Atlanta, running late because Bible study was just fire this morning. Still no excuse to be late, to be honest with you. But I know they're gonna see me walking with this tripod and be like, this guy. So I'm gonna see how much I can record. If not, like, the cool thing about them is they always have an app that I can access and go through my results my own. I've been through the walkthrough. This will be like my 3rd time, so I can just break it down myself. But let's go ahead and get in here. All right.
But typically that's more for like bone density. You'll get that 1 to 3%. For actual, like, your muscle mass and such,
Yeah,
it comes in pretty accurate.
so 1 to 3% margin of error for bone density, and then you think muscle is pretty accurate?
Yeah, I feel like muscle will be more close to that 1%. Bone density, you'll see that 1 to 3%.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the caveat here is if, like, you were to come in, like, really fed, like, carved up and everything like that, how do you think that now affects, like, muscle, knowing how, like, it shuttles in the glycogen and everything?
It might pull the same results. I've seen someone come in like super hydrated and it changed their visceral fat a little bit. Or if you come in like real underhydrated, it might change like your visceral fat numbers, more of your fat numbers. Muscle will always come in
still come accurate regardless. It can kind of separate the two.
Yeah. Gotcha. Anything I'll say like visceral fat.
Okay.
It'd be hard to decipher.
But that's what's up. I was kind of wondering. I like researched it several times, but I might have somebody that works here and get their take.
I've seen, like, I've done someone back to back, like 2 scans just to see the accuracy of it. Yeah. And the only thing that changed was like the visceral fat, but it was like very slight.
Very small.
Yeah. But the muscle mass, everything else came back.
Shot out the same way. That's what's up. Yeah. Just finished up at DEXA Fit Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, I'm not sponsored by them at all yet. And I love saying yet, man, because you got to bid on yourself, and content creation generates businesses so much money. Like, I can't even tell you all, like, how many times, even in the past, companies have reached out and I've been able to work with them. It was a lot earlier in my coaching and content creation journey, so I didn't necessarily steward every relationship the best in terms of what would be most beneficial to them and most beneficial to me. So I'm a lot more keen to contracts and making sure things are written out and everything like that. But I like saying yet because it's the same thing with Bioptimizers. Like, I literally was like, I'm just showing this product because I love using it, not sponsored. And I got sponsored before that video even came out. So always got to bid on yourselves, man. Stay prayed up with the Lord. But your boy made it, right? So back to the body fat percentage test. 8.7%. I've never been at least recorded intentionally in single digits. Super, like, cool just to say I've been able to do it. They sent my results. Everything is on the app. We didn't do it on the TV screen this time. When I get back to the crib, because my phone, of course, is dying, I'll take you all through my full results. It's giving me a lot of confidence going into the show. Obviously, your body fat percentage does not matter. Posing, everything else. These trains, bro, hold on. Between people speeding by in trains, like, it's crazy. But basically what I was about to say, body fat percentage does not matter. You have to be able to pose. Obviously, that is a deficit for me right now that I'm trying to clean up as much as possible. But it just feels good to set your mind on a goal and hit it. I'm trying to tell you all, if you want to build confidence, you need to keep the promises you make to yourself, right? And you won't always succeed. But if you do each input that you said you were going to do, regardless of the results, you will build confidence in yourself. Trust me. All right, but anyways, let's start with the rest of this day. I actually have a nutrition call very, very soon, so I need to charge my phone so I can do that. And I need to go shopping for the crib real quick. So things are going to move quick, but this is going to be a jam-packed day, and it's already an exciting day in the Lord. Let's continue. Alrighty, Transcendent Family, we are at Aldi now. Got my quarter, got my bags, about to get some shopping done for the family. Won't have to get too much stuff for myself because I actually fly out on Tuesday, so I'm just getting like a little bit, and then I'm actually going to do the rest of my shopping when I fly into Houston, which the cool thing is they have Aldi and Kroger in Houston, so I'm literally going to be able to eat the exact foods that I'm used to. Super excited about that. And also, listen, I just got off a nutrition coaching call, and it was just so amazing. Like, to be able to, and I always tell people my nutrition coaching calls are kind of masked as like life coaching calls, lifestyle coaching, which is what I branded myself as before, but I just weaved it in. We talked deeply about getting over anxiety and everything like that. I'm not going to go fully into their story, but when I tell you it's transformative, and then how I was able to weave God into it, the Holy Spirit led me. We talked about yada, and I talked about deeply knowing, because that's what that means in Hebrew, deeply knowing, deeply seeing. And it's just absolutely beautiful. But one of the biggest things I wanted to tell you all is, let's say you're like 42 years old right now, and you're thinking like, I should have my life together. Let's say you're 24 and you're like, I should have my life together. Like, it should happen like this. Do remember that, let's use diets as an example. 90% of people fail diets that they start. Why? I would say that's because the deeper rooted issues that are keeping you overweight, that are keeping you from whatever goal you're trying to get to, have not been solved. All you did was plug yourself into X's and O's systems, like calories in, calories out, and you never address the psychology behind it. And so as soon as you take yourself out of that system, you fall off, right? So I believe the deep rooted issues like food psychology, the psychology in general, need to be addressed in order to have long-term success. Now, let's say you're 24, right? And it takes you 2 years to go through this process. You just reprogrammed 24 years of being programmed a certain way in 2 years. That's super, super quick. So you all need to get out of your mind like this needs to happen in 30 days, 30-day challenge. This needs to happen in 90 days, and commit to a process that's going to allow you to have long-term results for the rest of your life, right? Like, as a coach, I don't coach my clients and based on, can they transform in 30 days? Can they transform in 90 days? Can they transform and stay transformed, whether they continue to coach and train with me or not? That is how I hang my hat on, coaching and success as a coach. All right, y'all, so I went home, dropped those groceries off, then I shot up here to the gym, had 2 great custom fit sessions, which is what I call my small group personalized training. If you're in Atlanta and you want to get coaching, make sure you come check your boy out. I'm really enjoying the community that I'm building here, and they're honestly just really fun sessions, great discussions, a lot of hard training and smart training. It's amazing. Now I'm about to get on a nutrition coaching call. And then after that, I really have to figure out if I'm going to train today or tomorrow. I'm going to do one more like hard, intense session. And this will be the last one before peak week. Peak week, I'll be doing a deload because I don't want to create like too much damage in my muscles, sustain too much damage to where posing starts to feel a little off or the muscles aren't recovering. So I'm gonna have one last big session. And yeah, I'm kind of debating now. It's like I might go to a new gym and try something new out just to spark a little fun with that. end off this leading into peak week right? But anyways, gotta get on this nutrition coaching call, and I'll pick up with you all after. Woo! I made that thing strong this time. I might start coughing. But what's going on, y'all? So I'm back at the crib. I just made my digestive cocktail, and by the time I get this video out, it should be on my YouTube short, so make sure you go check that out. One of the biggest things you have to consider when you're getting super lean is, am I giving my body enough nutrients to stay regular? When you start cutting out a lot of food, your body starts to panic, and it's like, I need to hold on to any and everything you give me, and that digestion can start to slow. And so I drank this digestive cocktail yesterday, had my first long and connected session, if you know what I'm saying, in like 2 weeks. So I was still regular throughout those 2 weeks. It just went long and connected, you know what I'm saying? So after I drank that, long and connected, I'm drinking this, and then I'm going to eat my second meal of the day. It's late, kind of behind on meals and everything. Sometimes when you're a coach and you're just out at the gym, stuff like that, and not access to a fridge, microwave, or anything, that kind of happens, right? But yeah, we're making it through it. I think I've settled on the fact that I'll actually train tomorrow, because I'm not gonna lie to you all, the tiredness has really just hit me right now. I stayed up late last night, and I don't regret it at all. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna train tomorrow so I can get a really great session. And I have to kind of assess my physique on Sunday and really see what my training is going to look like on peak week, because I'm self-coached, but from my research, everything I've been looking into, it's really not a cut and dry system. It's not do this many reps in reserve or do this. It's like assess your physique and make your decision after gathering enough information from there. So I'll be able to look at it on Sunday, decide what I'm doing on peak week, and of course you all will be let into that. So I'm about to go ahead and drink this down, eat, might actually take a nap, then I'm gonna go back up to the gym, hit my steps, and then hit the sauna, and then your boy gotta go to sleep after that. So stay tuned, because I didn't forget, I still gotta take you all through my report. That's super informative, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. So we're gonna keep it going. Honestly, we're gonna combine 2 days. I'm just gonna let y'all rock out with me. Like I said, the whole point of creating this is finding people that really rock with me and rock with the mission of getting 1% better daily, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And if that's you, let's keep rocking. Alrighty, Transcendent Family, so I appreciate you all for staying tuned to this portion of the video. This is where I will go through my DEXA Scan results. And again, like I said, it's really cool. Everything is actually logged in an app. And then I'll briefly show you all just a comparison to where I started this prep. So as you can see, when you first come in, you can see the entire scan of my body. You can actually see my lungs. That's a little weird. But you can see I have an A+, right? And so it really grades you based on like your fat and your level of leanness. As you go down here and you see my trend, what you can notice is even in my very first scan that I did with them back in September 10th, 2024, I was already in the A range. And then I came here again in May, and then I come all the way up here again in September for 2025. So it's like, even throughout my bulk, I managed to stay in this A range. And I think that's something to really highlight, especially if your goal is to be a bodybuilder, or even if your goal is just to do this very healthy manner, right? You want to make sure that you're not just adding on a huge amount of unnecessary body fat when you're looking to build muscle. You want to be strategic, and you want to just limit how much body fat you're putting on as possible, because inevitably you're going to have to cut and get that off of you, regardless if you're getting stage lean, if your goal is just to get cut. And it's like, why add more work for yourself? So if we go here, as you can see, body fat, like I told you all, 8.7%. And the cool thing I like about this app is you can click learn more, and then you can go here. You can always pause the screen, and it'll just give you an example, or really just a definition of what you're looking at, and then what are some healthy body fat ranges. So you can see this. It's saying a healthy amount of body fat is 14% to 31% for females, and then 6% to 25% for males. The only argument I would have there is if you think about a woman going all the way down to 14%, that is like stage lean. That is super lean. I actually think most women would probably be better between like 18 and even 22 if you were trying to stay on the low end. And then for men, I mean, 6%, you're your stage lean at that point, right? You don't want to hang around that for a long period of time. And then 25% is just really, really high. So I would say, honestly, if you can stay between 12 and 16%, that would actually be a healthier lean spot where you have performance and you look good, right? So we'll leave out of that. Like I said, you can see 8.7% for me. We'll go to lean mass. So you're seeing 137 pounds. Again, you can go here. You can see my trends. Naturally, unfortunately, when you're really, really trying to cut, what you notice is I did lose lean mass as well. That's just a part of the process. And again, you can click here. You can pause the screen and it'll tell you exactly what you're looking at and what is comprised of lean mass, okay? So we'll go from there. Keep going. You'll see total mass, right? And then same thing, I'm opening this stuff up so you all can pause the screen, see it for yourself, and we don't have to take too much time here. We'll go down to visceral fat, right? And so visceral fat, I actually have 0 pounds of visceral fat. And then my T-score. So this is really, really cool. So when we're looking at the T-score, we're looking at bone density, right? And bone density is super, super important. Bone density, especially as you age, is like when you hear an older person falling, landing on their hip, and breaking their hip. Usually, depending on their age, their quality of life and their life expectancy goes down drastically after an injury like that. So even being younger, you want to be able to reduce your fragility and be able to keep your bones dense. This is going to help with injury prevention, and this is just going to lead to better health outcomes long term. Like you'll see people as they get older, they'll start to get these interesting postures where it just seems like gravity is defeating them and just kind of crushing them back into the ground. So you want to keep your bone density high, and one of the best ways to do that is to do resistance training. So we got all that covered. And real quick, like I said, I'll show you all where I started at, and we'll conclude. So as you can see, like I said, kept the body score at A. You can see those red lines kind of where the fat is, or where, I kind of got rid of it. So if we go back, you can see here, boom, you know what I mean? So I don't have any hips. The hips don't lie. But anyways, we'll go here, and you can see I started at 14.5%, right? And we can just briefly scroll through real quick for those of you all who care. But yeah, that's where we're at. I encourage you all, if you're starting a journey, this is one of the best ways to get metrics that you can actually say, okay, these are objective. And even if you're like, you know what, I don't want to pay for this, like I just want to do everything at home, take visual pictures, and do not rely just on the scale, right? Because if you rely just on the scale, you won't really be able to see and parse out, like, is this muscle I'm building? Like, am I losing fat? Like, and that can get really confusing and discouraging. So make sure you get as many accurate measurements as you can. Don't obsess over them, but just get them so you can stay objective. All right, you all. So I hope you all were able to learn something after I showed you all my results from the DEXA. Again, these are just measurements I love more than the scale because it's just more objective. You get more insight on that number. It's not just, okay, you weigh X amount. It's like, how much is body fat? How much is bone density? How much is lean muscle mass? This really helps you stay objective throughout your journey, especially as a competitor, but even some of my lifestyle clients, I have them get it so that we can really see how we're improving their longevity and their health, their muscularity, all that stuff over time. So right now, we're actually on the next day. I didn't go to the gym yesterday. Like I said, I started to feel kind of tired and I was like, you know what? I need to get my rest. One of the biggest things you need to manage when it comes to competition and just life is stress and fatigue management. So doing an excellent job doing that today. About to go get a workout in, maybe sauna just for a little bit. And then today ended up being a de-output day, which I'm not going to go into depth on what that is right now. It's actually a new, like, kind of, I guess you could say, tactic I learned myself, but it's allowing me to really, really bring my fatigue down. Tomorrow will be a rest day, and now I'll be able to hit it hard on peak week, which you just want to stay tuned because there's a lot of tactical things that you have to do just based on how you're progressing, what you're seeing for your body at that time. So a lot of stuff I don't want to speak on right now because I could wake up Monday and be like, based on how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, I need to pivot and do this. So nothing is set in stone. Peak week is really a manipulation time to say, how can I produce the best look based on what my body is giving me right now? But anyways, about to hit the gym, have a great workout, and then, yeah, we'll go ahead and close it out after that. What's going on? Wait a second, back up a little bit. What's going on, Transcendent Family? Listen, I am not the best YouTuber yet, right? And I don't even know if I want to call myself a YouTuber. But anyways, forgetting all the titles, I literally was like, you know what? I don't really like recording at the Y. It's just like a older environment, you know what I'm saying? They have like pretty decent equipment, but it's like mostly older people, and you're just like, people are looking at all the other stuff. And honestly, like, you would think I would fully be over that, but I think it's that imposter syndrome you can get sometimes, where it's like, I'm still very much so building my following. Yes, I'm a coach. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. But in terms of having the quote unquote numbers to show that, it's not there yet. But the only way to get that is to show up consistently, which we're doing now. So if you've been following along with the journey, I appreciate you. But yeah, I was just like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna record today. And I was like, Saturday shouldn't be that many people. It was a lot of people, but I was like, I'm gonna record anyways. Open up my bag, my tripod is not in there, so I'll let you all down. But during this peak week, because peak week is next week, I'm super excited. I will be making sure I'm recording more of my sessions, more of my day-to-day, to let you all know how this is progressing to the stage. So I'm super excited for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that's the only way you're gonna know when I put out new videos. And being able to stay tapped in during peak week only comes from hitting the subscribe button and hitting that notification bell. Tap the like button if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed the insight, if you've been rocking with the kid, and comment down below. Like, I'm one of those guys that's gonna respond. Like, I want to rock with y'all, y'all rock with me. Let's do it. Let's get 1% better spiritually, mentally, and physically every single day. And remember, I love you all, but most importantly, Jesus loves you. Peace.